every word.
Hello, Denver. After 12 years, my time as your mayor is coming to a close. And next week, we'll welcome and celebrate Mike Johnston as he takes the reins of our great city. You know, it's been an honor of my life to serve this great city. You made a grown man's childhood dream come true. This city helped raise me. It supported me and my mom, brothers and sisters during some of the most challenging times. It was here where an ambitious young middle school kid aspired to be Denver's first African-American mayor. And while I didn't get to be the first, as Mayor Webb likes to tell me, being second is just as good. Denver is where I started my career, raised my family, and committed my whole self to public service. And as I watched my children come into their own, we all had the privilege of watching our city rise like never before. When we started back in 2011, we were still in the grips of the Great Recession. But we fought through it and emerged as one of the country's fastest growing economies with strong reserves and a AAA bond rating. 12 years later, we're now boldly leading Denver's recovery from the global COVID-19 pandemic and its ongoing impacts to our city and lives. The job of building a city is never done, and a mayor's time in office is limited. So we know the work we set in motion doesn't always finish while we're here. Part of our mandate, though, is to address the challenges of today and set up the opportunities of tomorrow. My hope is that my administration built a solid foundation for the Johnson administration to succeed, a foundation that's built on the shoulders of the mayors who came before us. The pieces are in place for Denver to seize its future. They include $1 billion in infrastructure investments approved by voters who will make improvements in neighborhoods throughout the city and drive our economy forward for years to come. Many projects are primed to elevate Denver, from the revitalization of the 16th Street Mall and improvements to the Convention Center, to the National Western Center, to preserving the South Platte River, to expanding Denver International Airport. Tens of thousands of new jobs and businesses have been created, taking what was near 9% unemployment during the recession in 2011 to only 2.9% today. In Denver, we will continue to connect to the world with the 17 international flight destinations we established, which are slated to have a $4 billion economic impact for all of Colorado. You know, we not only focused on building up our city, we drove an agenda focused on the people. Housing, homelessness, transportation, and climate action are now core services with programs and funding ready to tackle these challenges. Over 10,000 affordable homes have been built or preserved. 15,000 of our unhoused neighbors have been rehoused. All of Denver kids and older adults have free access to our rec centers and pools. We reduced child poverty by 13%. Over 5,000 miles of our city streets have been repaved, while we added 231 miles of bike lanes, 140 miles of sidewalks, and expanded transit and micro-mobility options. Over 2,000 acres of park and open spaces were added and protected. Denver now has 4 new recreation centers and 4 new libraries. We hired more safety officers and implemented reforms to improve policing. We increased the minimum wage and brought more services to neighborhoods and kept supporting our local businesses even during the depths of the recession and the pandemic. There's so much more we can be proud of as a city and about the work we've been able to achieve together over these last 12 years. Denver, we've made meaningful progress. And yes, challenges remain, and they always will. Thankfully, though, Denver never gives up. We always lean in and put people first because that's how we deliver a world-class city where everyone matters. I see a city that continues to meet the challenges with our signature Denver spirit. We're headed in the right direction, and that comes with a renewed sense of our city's purpose. You know, far too often in our country today, polarization, either partisan in nature or not, drowns out the honest debate and exchange of ideas and points of view. It's fostered a toxic mistrust in our systems of governance, shaped by the loudest voices and the extremes. When attacks on basic fairness, on justice, on freedoms for women, our LGBTQ neighbors, and others are used as blunt force objects, when differences are weaponized to pit us against one another, the very foundations of our country's great experiment in democracy are under threat. It's the responsibility of all of us to be active participants in our democracy and to do it at all levels of government. You know, it's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. who aptly said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Those words have never been truer than they are today. As I dropped off my ballot for this last election, I was reminded of the awesome power of our right to vote. We must never allow ourselves to think that our vote doesn't matter, because it matters the most of all. This is a cause that I will remain committed to, not only here in our great city, but in the places across the country where it's under the greatest threat. Progress on justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion in our society must remain secure everywhere for the good of all our futures. You know, Denver is leading the way because we rise to meet every challenge we face, turning obstacles into opportunities with an innovative spirit and determination unique not just to the Rocky Mountain West, but to the United States. And Denver will continue to lead the way because ours is a city brimming with opportunity, partnerships, and collaborations. Again, we're headed in the right direction, and I have full confidence that Mayor-elect Mike Johnston will achieve great things with all of you, with all of us, for our beloved city. I wish him nothing but the best of luck. I'm rooting for my friend and his team to succeed, because when the mayor is successful, Denver thrives. I love you, Denver. Thank you once again for the privilege of serving you. God bless you, and may God bless our great city.